Josh Allen and the Bills are on upset alert against Denver. Is that fact or fiction?
This is fact. I'm shocked saying it. This is fact. If you think about Denver, they've had 63 sacks. They get after you on defense. Bo Nix is playing extremely well. Broncos country, I got them right a couple weeks ago when I talked about Joe Burrow. They still hate me, but I'm good with you there. And then think about this. Sean Payton, I've lost the Super Bowl to Sean Payton. He will pull out all stops. Onside kicks, understand, it's all
anymore.
Onside kicks don't exist anymore.
I'm just saying all
He's
the
making
stops.
a point, yeah.
I understand what
Hey, the man is scarred. They onside kicked him in the Super Bowl. Let him.
I am scarred.
Yeah, well, if they had declared
I've
it.
forgotten all about it, Hank Basket. I don't remember any part of it.
Okay, so let's get into this here for a minute.
Yeah.
Because like every person I had here yesterday said the same thing you're saying to me now. Greeny, this is a tough spot, bad draw for the Bills. First, I think they're like a 9-point favorite. Second of all, the last 2 weeks before this, they just pitched a shutout. This Denver defense, everyone's telling me, is so good. And look, I have great respect for their season, their coach, and everything. Everyone's telling me how great this defense is. They just played against no one. Kansas City would have
that team was not trying to win the game.
The previous 2 weeks, they gave up over 30 points to the Chargers and to Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati will score points. You're telling me Josh Allen isn't going to put up points against this team?
63 sacks. How many of those were against a guy 6'5", 250?
We're not trying to dig. We're trying not to dig too deep in those numbers, Ross. This is TV, okay? It's TV.
I'm just saying, we can get Hembo to run those.
No, I think the point is that the 9 points suggest that it shouldn't be close. I think the idea that they will have a close game is realistic because of how good or how talented the Broncos defense is and their ability to play man coverage. When you can play man coverage, you have the flexibility to do a lot of things defensively without a kind of a standout X guy that's like top 5 in the league that will break that down, which we saw. When they went up against Cincinnati, we saw what happened when you had T. Higgins going up against Riley Moss. It's like it's a hard thing to do, man to man. But I don't know that They don't
have a T. Higgins.
Yeah, they don't have that guy. So I think that's what people imagine is like, all right, we can play tight man coverage, we can load the box, we can blitz, we can do all different things to give Josh Allen trouble. And that Bills defense isn't perfect. Like people can run the ball against it. I mean, they're nowhere close to perfect. That Bills defense has weaknesses also.
Sure, fair enough.
Let's not get crazy. We're not betting palatial estates on it.
Okay, fair enough.
But it is going to be tougher than people think.
All right, we'll see.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That was like, a decent breakdown for this Denver Broncos Buffalo Bills game. Listen, for the Denver Broncos, this is obviously a tough matchup for the Broncos. Like, right, nobody can dispute that. This is a tough one. But the Broncos defense is special, is elite, is high level. But so is Josh Allen. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. Josh Allen is an incredibly unique player. Lamar is unique. Mahomes is unique. They're all unique in their own right. And so even if you did pretty well against a Mahomes or against a Lamar or against this, it doesn't mean anything. Just because all those quarterbacks are in the same category doesn't mean playing against them is the same. And so going up against Josh Allen, it's just, Josh Allen's beast mode in the playoffs. We know that. So this is going to be a tough game. So, I do understand what Saturday was talking about in terms of Sean Payton and bringing out all the stops. And, he is doing everything he can to win this game. He is going all in, and it's going to be really one of those ball till you fall. Like, it's either going to, win spectacularly or lose, quite spectacularly, infamously, that's what it will be for the Broncos. This isn't going to be one of those, close, tight, conservative games from Sean Payton. This is going to be, we are going for it, man. We are going for it. I am unleashing Bo Nix. Let's see what we got. And that's what makes it so exciting. I think you got a puncher's chance. So are they on upset alert? I guess it depends on how we define upset alert. But I see it more as a puncher's chance, especially because the Bills defense isn't great. They've had their problems throughout the season. They've given up points. We've seen the Bills at times be kind of inconsistent. And so then there you go. I mean, that's all you need. You just need a little bit of inconsistency and a little bit of an advantage defensively, and boom, here you go. Now, the big thing is that this is Bo Nix's first playoff game ever. And that is a thing. I've talked about that for all the rookie, really just obviously Jaden and Bo, but it's a real thing. Any rookie quarterback who's going to be playing their first playoff game, history is not in their favor, especially on the road. Like these are tough spots. This is, football is a step league, like Colin Cowherd kind of put. I forget exactly how he phrased it, but it's steps. You don't just enter the league and then immediately be dominant, immediately have big time success. Like these things take time. So it wouldn't be shocking if you don't get a perfect game out of Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos offense. So that's why I'm going to be fascinated to see what Sean Payton does. Does he do things to try to get him settled, or does he say, bro, we need you just to ball? That's what we need you to do. I understand you're a rookie. I understand all that. Things might get a little wonky at times. If we open up the game in the first few drives and you throw an interception, I don't care. Move on from it. We're not, we got to go. We got to go. This Buffalo Bills team is for real. They're a top Super Bowl contender for a reason. We don't got time to have you get settled. We're not playing the 4 seed, the 5 seed. We're playing the Buffalo Bills. We got to get after it. Or the game could be something like when we played the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, where we just could not stop them. And then the offense and Bo Nix, for that matter, were just doing anything they could to just try to even remotely make the game relevant. Which I actually think Bo Nix played pretty well that game, despite what the score showed you. So yeah, there's a lot of fun matchups that I wouldn't have originally thought that I would have really liked. Like in the beginning of the season, if you said, "Oh, the Buffalo Bills are going to play the Denver Broncos," I would have been like, "Oh, really? Like, why? I don't want that. Like, I want to see the Broncos go up against the Chiefs, or the Broncos go up against, a rematch against the Ravens. Like, I would have just picked other matchups first, personally. But now I'm kind of like, all right. This has some momentum behind it. This has some buzz. Although clearly, honestly, the 1 o'clock game for playoffs are pretty much like the lower, rated game. So like they don't think this game should be that magical, that intense, that packed that much of a punch. They have the Commanders and the Bucks in the primetime game, and the Steelers and the Ravens in those 2 primetime slots. The 1 o'clock game for a playoff game on a Sunday is kind of just like, it's a playoff game. So they're not expecting this to be a big thing. Although it does seem like the line is going down, though, apparently, which is interesting. I don't know why that would necessarily be. But I do feel as though the Denver Broncos obviously have a ton of momentum go behind them. It's not to say that the Bills don't have momentum, but I do think, I don't care that you did play the backups and the Kansas City Chiefs. They all feel really great about that. Bo Nix played great, whether it was the backups or the backups or the backups. Whether he just said, "Hey, I'm gonna play a college game real quick. I'll be back on Sunday." Like, it doesn't matter. Like, balling out feels good no matter who you do it against, quite frankly. So the Broncos definitely feel good, and someone like Sean Payton is going to use that to use that spark to try to create a roaring fire. He's well aware that they played some backups and all of that, but he's going to use any of that momentum and any of that spark to try to really just light this on fire. And that is the huge benefit of having an established, really high level offensive head coach more than anything. So yeah, I absolutely give them a fighter's chance. And again, the deck is obviously stacked against them, but I don't think this is one of those games where you could just be like, I'm going to skip it. I think it's either going to be a close game that's really ugly and weird and bizarre, or, sorry to say, things just get out of control for the Broncos and the Bills just roll. It just ends up being like a typical, we're a top seed, you're a bottom seed. We have an established, elite quarterback. You have a rookie up and coming quarterback. Like, I could see that happening to no fault of the Broncos. I think if the Broncos win this game, it's because of a weird, ugly, muddled up game. Or, I'll talk myself in not so, because I could be like, well, I guess I could also see the Broncos starting off this game going up 14-0 because, Sean Payton's in his bag and Bo Nix is just on fire. The more I think of it, I could honestly see anything. I could see any scenario. And honestly, that's what always makes it so fun for me, because at first I was like, I only really see one of these 2 scenarios. And I was like, well, actually, I guess technically I could see this. Like, this is the type of game where it was like, if the Broncos won the coin toss, I would be like, maybe they should take it first, right? They should get the ball, start the game off, let's go. Because if you march down and score, go up 7-0, that's going to be like, uh-oh, we got ourselves a game right now. Like, that's a possibility too. So, this game's so great. I can't wait. I really, like I said, you asked me in the beginning of the season, do you want to see the Bills play the Broncos in the playoffs? I'd be like, no, it doesn't really sound like that interesting of a game. Now I'm like, ooh, yeah. We got some juice here, baby. We got some juice. Is Bo Nix Josh Allen light? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos potentially upsetting the Buffalo Bills? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.